Hey, what's up guys, it's Matt with Movement System. In this video, we're gonna talk about how you should structure your running week. I am a runner myself, and I know what you guys are thinking. Matt, we thought you were a bodybuilder, or maybe a model. But no, I am actually a runner. And I've actually made a lot of improvements in the way that I run over the past few years by working with a running coach, as well as going through school, learning about exercise science, and getting my physical therapy degree. Which is why I wanted to make this video about how I've shifted my training week to actually run slower and get faster. So in this video, I'm going to show you my go-to training week, which is 4 times a week, how I break down low intensity versus moderate intensity versus high intensity training sessions and distribute them to manage fatigue and hit PRs consistently. The amount of each type of training you do, low intensity, moderate intensity, high intensity, has a really big effect on the amount of fatigue that you experience, as well as how you perform on race day. So our lowest intensity days we'll label as green days. These are typically our longer runs that are truly aerobic, meaning they're below threshold. For me, that works out to a run that's below 155 beats per minute. Your anaerobic threshold may be different, but the anaerobic threshold is right where whenever you're running, you can't really talk consistently anymore and you're more gasping for breath. So the talk test is one way to help you determine that anaerobic threshold, and your green long run should be under that threshold and truly aerobic. This is really important because if we do too many runs in the next zone, which is more of our yellow zone, our threshold runs, then we may not really be developing good aerobic adaptations. That said, threshold runs do have their place, and we label those as yellow. These are runs that typically involve working at or above our threshold, or maybe intervals where we're going above and below our threshold. This is the run where if you go out and you run kind of hard, that's what you're probably in, is this threshold zone. And a lot of people train almost exclusively in this threshold zone. What you'll see when we go to structure a training week is that we don't really want to typically be doing training only in this threshold zone. There's a better way to distribute our intensity between low and high intensities to get better results than just doing threshold work. I've worked with a lot of clients as a coach and as a trainer who were just only doing threshold runs, and they were constantly feeling like their runs were really hard, they were constantly fatigued, but they weren't getting any faster. So by changing the structure of your training week away from just doing threshold runs, we can really improve performance and feel better day to day. We'll talk about exactly how to do that in a minute. But lastly, we do want to cover our red box as well, and that's our high intensity runs. These are typically intervals because we want to be at true high intensity for these runs. This type of training is typically, though, our lowest volume of training, meaning that this is the most fatiguing. It's very challenging to do, so we don't typically want to do this more than maybe once or twice a week, though this may vary based on the time of year and the type of athlete that you are. So you might be wondering, how do you know which zone you're in whenever you're running? So let's look at a fancy graph here and then try to talk about it in just regular terms. So what this graph is showing us is that we have a green zone, which is very aerobic and at a lower heart rate. That heart rate that cuts it off between green and yellow is different for everybody. For most people, it's practical to think about that green to yellow transition at the time where it starts to get a little bit hard to say regular sentences in a regular flow, meaning you're a little bit more like trying to gasp for your breath. That yellow zone is where a lot of people run, where it's kind of hard, where you couldn't really talk back and forth to someone. This is kind of your race pace zone. But then as we transition from yellow to red, that's usually marked when we can only kind of say a few words before gasping for breath. So that's kind of how we feel as we transition from that yellow to the red zone. So if we're actually training in that red zone, it should be hard to talk. That should be really truly high intensity. So with that said, hopefully we have a good idea of what kind of intensities we're looking at for the green, yellow, and red zones. Now let's look at how we should actually distribute our intensity throughout a training week. So here's the basic structure that I've laid out for someone who's running 4 times a week. This you may need to modify if you want to run more or less, but we're going to talk about it as an example of someone running 4 times a week. What you can see is there's 2 aerobic training days here. We have a long run on Sunday. That's typically going to be our longest run at a true aerobic intensity. We don't want to go out for that run and make it as hard as possible. We want to keep our heart rate down enough into a zone where it's actually recoverable and manageable. We're also going to do a long run on Thursday. On Tuesday, we have plugged in our 1 high intensity day. We'll talk about specifically how to do this day in a second. And then on Saturday, we actually have a yellow or a threshold run with some layered in efforts. I'm going to go ahead and put an example of how much you might actually run in each of these boxes, but remember this is very individual and you may need to scale this up or scale this down. But for example, we may make that long run, for example, a 90-minute low intensity aerobic run, and then our Thursday run a 75-minute low intensity aerobic run. In each of those cases, those are just long steady state runs. When it comes to our Tuesday higher intensity interval day, I typically recommend layering in about 5 sets of 15-second really hard efforts in the middle of a longer run. So the way that might look is I might layer that into a 40-minute run. For example, we could do a 10-minute walk to warm up, and then we could start running, and then at the 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25-minute mark of that run, we go for a really hard 15-second effort. Following that effort, you can walk for a little bit, do a light jog, but it should be really low intensity between that 15-second really hard effort. At the end, from 30 to 40 minutes, you can just do a 10-minute cool-down jog, and then your run would be over at around 40 minutes, for example. That would be an example of how to incorporate a high-intensity day into our training week. And then on Saturday for our threshold run, I like to layer in efforts in a similar way, but this time for 1-minute efforts. And these aren't all out, they're just above threshold. For example, for this one, we might layer them into a 60-minute run and do a 1-minute hard effort at the start of each of the 10 minutes. For example, we could do a warm-up walk, start running, and then at the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-minute mark, each of those we start with a 1-minute hard effort. I like to think of this as the pace that you would do if you were running 400 meters or 1 lap around a track. So it shouldn't be a 100% all-out sprint from the start. It should be a controlled effort that you can maintain as a hard effort for that full 1 minute. Again, this is layered in for 1 minute out of every 10 minutes for the extent of that entire 60-minute run. Now, I don't want to claim that this training structure is the perfect running week for everybody in every case, but it's a pretty good structure, and it's the go-to structure that I use as a coach and as an athlete myself. You want to include in your training week enough lower intensity aerobic work that you're really driving aerobic benefits. By doing this, I actually felt way less fatigued than whenever I was running at threshold or really hard every single run in the past. And by using this structure, I actually hit race PRs that I didn't hit even whenever it felt like I was training harder. Thinking back to the time before I really understood the aerobic training benefits, I might as well have just been eating an entire plate of fettuccine alfredo before my runs. So I hope you guys take this information and you run with it. Doing aerobic training that is truly low intensity and really drives those aerobic adaptations will pay off in the long run. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and if you want to learn more, go ahead and follow along on Instagram at The Movement System. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.